going back to you, you said you been single as of 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
You were dating a guy for 2 months. So, and he broke up with you. He asked you to be boyfriend, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
A week later, breaks up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he break up with you?
Okay, can I give the whole rundown?
Is it
It's kind of like
relatively?
like a quickish rundown.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I asked him to get me something, and he didn't want to get it for me. And then that started an argument. And then the argument was at night, and so we slept on it. Oh, sorry. Next day, we didn't text at all. Then that same night, he's like, hey, I don't think this is going to work out. I go into things without like fully evaluating them and looking at the like repercussions. So I don't think I wholeheartedly want a relationship anymore. And that was it.
What was the thing that you wanted?
A vape.
You wanted a vape.
I wanted a vape.
And how much did the vape cost?
Like $20.
Okay.
Because
and
I usually get them myself, but the store that I went to carded. And so I was like, hey, can you please get this for me? And he's like, I don't want to get that for you because you're not 21 yet. And I said, okay. And then we had an argument and that whole thing happened.
Oh, okay. So there was like, he didn't want some sort of liability
Yeah.
there.
Which, like, I understand. And I told him, I was
So
like...
then why did you have an argument about it?
Because I told him, I was like, okay, if you don't want to get it, I'll just find another way to get it. He's like, oh, no, I don't want you to get it from people who are, like, druggies or things like that. Like, I would rather have you get it from me, someone that you trust. And I was like, well, you don't want to do it in the first place, so I'll just find my own other way to do it. And then I guess that started a little fire in him or something.
Do you think he was wrong for breaking up with you?
I do. Because we were talking for 2 months already, and he knew my personality. He knew the person that I was, and I knew the type of person he was. And he was interested. He said he was interested in looking for a relationship. But for him to cut me off after a week over one mild argument that could have easily been solved, I don't know. It just didn't seem fair.
What was the nature? I mean, how was the tone of the argument? Were you yelling?
No, we weren't yelling. It was over text. It was very, like, mutual.
Can I read it?
No.
Can I read the text messages? Because, sometimes people leave out certain details.
No, I'm being 100% honest.
I'm sure you are, but
Yes.
just, without, seeing the receipts, there's no point of contention or dispute as to what was said, what wasn't said. And I could give you the guy's perspective of if you fucked up.
He said that I was being kind of dry because all I kept saying was okay, because I just wanted to move on from what we were talking about. And then we just like ended the night with good night. And then he was like, oh, a girlfriend wouldn't just like sideline everything I say and not take into accountability what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to be serious and you're not taking me seriously. And I'm like,
so he
I don't, in what world is that unreasonable? That's not totally reasonable. Doesn't it?
I guess, yeah. I suppose.
Do you suppose? Because before you said unfair, unreasonable. Hold on just a sec.
Negative_200 donated $200. Famous Stoic philosopher Dicus Maximus Van Noen once said, align with the cosmos' slow vibrations. In quiet whispers, find wisdom and hidden paths to enlightenment and harmony.
Yeah, that's the guy,
Thank you.
I think. That's
Thank
the
you.
guy. Thank you.
Thank you. Negative 200.
200. Negative 200. Thank you.
I love
Yeah,
you.
but I mean,
Donate 200.
he didn't even quote Biggest Dickus or anything. That was the main philosopher.
That was cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
That
don't
was
speak
good.
no lies.
Yeah, so thank you, Negative. So back to this. Have you guys spoken at all since, or where did you guys leave it?
No, we haven't spoken since.
Okay, how did he end it? He just said...
He was just like, oh, I ultimately decided that I don't wholeheartedly want a relationship with you. He says that he makes impulsive decisions without thinking about the repercussions or things like that. And I was like, okay, well, if you don't want a wholehearted relationship, then I don't want to do that with you.
Well, I mean, you probably know better than us, but do you think that what precipitated the breakup was this argument that you guys had?
I don't know. I really don't know, because I thought everything was going fine. Because we've had like mild arguments before, but it wasn't like this.
Still got injured, but we're lagging.
It looks like it's recovered.
Came back cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, but we've had like mild arguments where we've gotten over them, no problem. And I thought this was just going to be another mild argument as well that we would get over, but I guess not.
What else have you guys argued about?
Oh, me going to parties.
Oh, okay.
That
What was
was-
the argument there?
He said that he doesn't want to be with someone who goes to parties all the time.
Yeah.
When I told him originally already that I do party promoting as like a little side hobby hustle, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cool that you do party promoting and you're in school and you work and stuff like that." I was like, "Oh my god, this guy thinks I'm like so cool." But then he's like, "I don't want to be with a girl who does party promoting." And I was
Okay.
like,
Does he
But
party?
you can understand that
I do understand that.
you could be a pimp, but that wouldn't make you a prostitute, right? Like, that's not the way that works. So if you were a pimp and you did have a ring of prostitutes, that would not entail that you yourself would need to sleep with the Johns, right? So if you're a party promoter, I don't see how the entailment is that you must party exactly.
Well, I just go for my friends. My friends are all there. I'm friends with all the people that I host with, and they're all really cool people. It's not like I'm going out talking to 300 guys in one night, getting all their numbers.
Are they coming to talk to you?
Some do come to talk to me, and I'll be polite and say hi, but I will tend to just brush them off because, no,
Do you drink at the parties?
rarely,
Really? Do you like smoke weed or anything like that?
no.
Okay. So in any case, this guy broke up with you. It seems like there's a little bit of sour grapes.
But hang on. There are other people, I'm guessing, at these parties who are drinking and doing
Yes.
some mild forms of drugs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
but I try to stay sober as much as I can. Mainly because me and my roommate, we go together, and she likes to do all that stuff. So I drive home, if that makes sense.
Is she single?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like when he first met you, he said, "Oh, it's cool that you do the party
Yeah,
promoting."
he said word for word, "I think it's cool that you do photography and are a party promoter."
He was probably just trying to make conversation so he could sleep with you.
Well, I mean, maybe he did think it's cool. Maybe he just didn't think an entailment of being a person who promoted parties was that you then yourself needed to go party, right? Because that's not an entailment of that. Like, I promote parties doesn't mean, it's like saying I'm a fight promoter. It doesn't mean I have to go to fights, right?
Also, on that note, how often are these parties held? Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
No, just like every Saturday, every other Saturday.
Okay. And
Just Saturdays.
were there instances where, for example, he wanted to hang out with you on a Saturday, but you had to go to the party?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, so I guess when you first met, he had no problem with you engaging in what he considered single behavior. But once you guys started dating, he wanted you to act in a way that he thought was more consistent with being in a relationship. I think both men and women typically tend to prefer their partners to not be partying when they're in a relationship. So that could be a component there.
Like when you start caring about someone, some of the behaviors that in the beginning that you are okay with, like the partying, then he's like, well, now I don't want to share you with him. So, and if you're not going to give it up, then he's giving you up.
There's probably this big argument, though, that was the cause of the breakup.
I don't even know.
Just show him the text. Just do it.
I just wish he communicated that, like, hey, I don't.
Just do it!
I deleted our old messages, so.
Lies.
Ooh.
Prove it. Just kidding.
You deleted the text messages?
I
Okay.
deleted everything.
Yeah.
I haven't blocked on everything. So.
Isn't there a way that you can bring it back, like an iPhone or in
Probably.
iMessage? You press like a
Nah,
something.
the recently deleted, gone. The large attachments, gone.
You can actually call your phone carrier and they'll like provide
it to
the
you,
text
yeah.
back.
Oh, yeah.
Nick, can you get on that? Can we get those receipts back?
Wait, so then if you were in a relationship and your man asked you to give up going to parties, would you do it?
I would say within reason, because it is.
What's within reason?
I
to
would
you?
say I wouldn't go like every time they throw, because it does get tiring, and sometimes I do not want to go sometimes, because sometimes I do like a night in on the weekends. So, I don't know. I mean,
Is it required for you to go?
no, I just like to go for fun.
Did he ever come with you?
He was supposed to go to one with me that Saturday, but he didn't because we broke up.
Do you have more, Lizzie? Did I say
So hang on, I just want to make sure I get this right, just real quick before we move on. So you're in an argument
Yes.
about you going and partying too much.
Yes.
And your resolution to this was to bring him partying with you. I just want to make sure I got that correct.
Because, okay, he's not a big, like, LA city party type of guy. He's more like kickback, close friends. And I was like, okay, I went to these kickbacks with him. They were fun. And I was like, okay, well, if I go to these with you, I went to like 3. I was like, can you at least go to like just one, just to experience it? And then he was fine with it. But then,
No, I understand the idea here of
Yeah.
you have this interest and I have this interest, and so I'm participating in your interest. Will you participate in one of mine?
Yes.
But this ignores what the argument is about, right? So let's assume that the roles are reversed and you're arguing with him about these get-togethers. And he was like, oh, well, I have a great idea. Why don't you just come with me to the get-togethers instead? That'll just solve the problem, right?
Well, I didn't know it was an entire problem until we argued about it. Because before that, everything was totally fine. Like, he was like, oh, like, it's cool. Like, yes, I'll go. Like, I already have my outfit planned. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I don't want to go. I don't like you partying. It's over.
Okay, so I know that growing up in this day and age, we kind of saturate ourselves with the idea that partying while in a relationship is not a bad thing. Personally, I would never do it. But I would say that it's not just like a trust issue, it's a respect issue. So if you respect your boyfriend, you just won't party unless he's there. And that's my opinion. And that's what takes a relationship very far. So for future reference.
For future reference.
Protect his heart by not going to party without him.
Yeah. Little invite. Doesn't hurt anyone.
Well, no, I think you weren't ready for a relationship, because if you really do love someone and it's something that it's kind of like a non-negotiable to them, it comes down to like what's more important. Is it the relationship more important, or if you show up to a party with your friends? Cool. Are you gonna? It literally just comes down to that. So if he matters and you want to be with him, then going to parties or not going to parties is not that big of a deal, because you're like, well, this relationship matters to me and I want to build on that. So, all right, babe, I won't go. But if we do go, then we can go together. Like, you can compromise that eventually, but like initially giving him that, like you said, the respect of you matter to me more, and giving him that reassurance, and then you can kind of compromise. But yeah, I think it's just when you're really into someone, then you'll do the sacrifices.
I have a question. Would you want to date someone that was partying every weekend? Like, if the roles were reversed, like, is that someone that you would want to be with,
If they were getting paid for it.
even if it wasn't required for them to go, payment or not?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. Half and half.
Just
yes,
curious.
no. Half and half, yes, no. But it's like, I'm the type of person who's very trustworthy, which is kind of a bad thing. So I will just trust my partner that they don't do anything. But at the
Yeah,
same
but-
time, I'm like, it's a respect thing, like you said.
Yeah. So like when a guy's at parties, your boyfriend or future boyfriend, the idea in your head where it's like he's putting himself in a situation for all of these girls to come up to him, for all these girls to hit on him, whether or not you trust him, that's still happening. Does the idea of that not bother you?
I guess it does, yeah. Because
So that's how guys feel though when
Yeah.
they're girls going to parties. It's just giving those guys an opportunity, whether you're taken or not, to give them so to give them that opportunity to flirt with you. And so that you can totally say no, but you're there.
Yeah.
And you're letting it happen by being there, whether you say no or not. So
It's true.
Love that.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, there's a differential here because as a guy, if you go to a bar, club, party, you could just go get a drink, be in the corner, be in the main part of it. Doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to talk to you as a guy the entire night, whether you're single, in a relationship, or married. It doesn't matter. If you're a girl, regardless of your relationship status, men are going to approach you. Men are going to come and talk to you. Men are going to flirt with you. So there's a massive differential there. So even making a comparison between men and women, just it's totally different because the way y'all flirt as women is by putting yourselves out there. So when you're in a relationship, you need to stop your version of game and we need to stop our version of game. So for us as men, that's taking the initiator role. For you as women, that's you need to close off your options by not doing what you do as a single woman, which is to put yourself in a position to be approached, to be talked to. So for example, most women aren't going to slide into a dude's DMs, but you're going to post revealing photos. So in a relationship, the appropriate thing would be to, for example, the guy to stop DMing girls and for the girl to stop posting revealing photos. Or in the case of a bar, the situation would be the guy stops approaching women. As a woman, you stop putting yourself in situations where you have pre-knowledge that you're likely to be romantically and sexually pursued. So this obviously doesn't, look, you might get approached in Trader Joe's, but that's not really what we're talking about
I'm
here.
so glad I'm not dating donated $200.
Hey, good to see you back,
You tried
man.
and failed.
Thank you, bro.
You missed your shot. They
What?
spotted your position.
Huh?
Then you got headshot. You beta fuck. Thought you could hide. Just pierced his ear, but didn't break his stride. Trump 2024?
Trump 2024, baby.
I'm
He's
so
a
glad.
brave and a decent man. He's a pioneer.
Yo, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you back in the chat, man. Yeah, that was crazy. I was watching all that stuff go down yesterday. Massive. Actually, we should maybe talk about the Secret Service
Are women?
and the women that were on his detail.
Brian, that woman had the most important job that there was. She was guarding the entirety of his midsection. I don't know if you knew that or not. Without her, I don't even think he would have been able to make it out of there. She was really, she was kind of shouldering the lion's share of the burden, if you will. I must have looked at that photo at least 30 times, and while it's true that it was iconic that Trump was holding his fist up in an American flag, and that'll go down in history as probably one of the greatest presidential pictures ever taken, all I could think of was how stunning and brave that woman was who was trying to pull him off that battlefield.
Yeah, well, did you see the photo of the other angle where there one of the, not that woman, who granted did her job and was being a meat shield effectively.
She did. After she got done falling on the ground, she did indeed grab him around the midsection and try to follow him out of there.
Well, there's the woman who
But it was a very slippery stage, to be fair.
Well, there, I don't know if you saw this other angle. There's a woman who was like behind, and she was the one with short hair who failed to holster her weapon 3 times. I don't know if you saw that part.
Well, okay, maybe, but these are new issue pistols that they have, and they're really big, and women have small hands. It really wasn't fair. If they had given her the proper equipment that was necessary, like all of the men got, Brian, I think that she would have done just fine. So I'm not going to take any of your absurd Trump bashing or any of your absurd bashing of his bodyguards, who clearly did an amazing job. You saw the female sniper, the counter sniper. She was amazing. She did a great job.
Yeah.
You saw her, right?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see her actually. I didn't see the. I thought
You didn't see her?
No, I didn't see the female sniper.
That's because nobody saw her, because there's no such thing. But if there was, she would have done her job well.
Okay, that's good. That's good.